What is up, you mad dogs? This week we are back in the Meta Apex for UFC Fight Night, headlined by Belal Muhammad versus Gabriel Bonfim. This is going to be an awesome night of fights, guys. Some of these matchups on this card, I mean, top to bottom, we're getting a great viewing experience, big finishes incoming. Honestly, guys, prelims to main card, this card is an absolute treat for a UFC Fight Night in the Apex. Sometimes these are headlined by women's MMA fights, guys, okay? We're in for a treat this weekend. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm going to give you my full card predictions and breakdown for every fight on this card, working our way up from the bottom. And before I jump into it, just want to give a quick little recap on how we did last week. I think we went 8-12 on picks, excluding that no contest. And Song Yadong surprised the fuck out of me with that submission. I didn't get to do a recap video for the event. I've been deadly sick the last couple of days, guys. It's okay, though. I'm back now. We're going to go through this card. And hopefully we're going to improve. Have a good week on the picks. We'll see how we go, all right? First fight of the night. Let's jump into it. We have Ketlen Souza versus Ariane Carnelossi. For this fight, I'm going to go with Ketlen Souza. I think she'll win a decision. Both girls, they've fought before the UFC. Carnelossi won that one by third round TKO. Both girls are kind of going to come in and throw power shots, you know? Souza, she's got more of a in-the-pocket approach. She's going to swing wild, wide hooks at ya, look to take your head off. Carnelossi, maybe a slightly more technical approach to the striking, but still a bit of a brute when it comes to it. I think as far as the grappling goes, I think Souza's probably a little bit better and has showed a little bit more improvement in recent times. Last time out, she was able to work Bruno Brazil up against the cage and a lot of clinch control and get the win that way. And I think she'll use a bit of that here. Carnelossi, she's shown to have the holes in the grappling before. She's been submitted a couple times. I mean, they've both been submitted a couple times, but it is what it is. I think Souza's faced slightly higher competition and had a little bit more success in the UFC since they both come in. And I think she's just shown a little bit more improvement in her game across the years, okay? I don't dive too much into this one, so we'll leave it at that, okay? Ketlen Souza by decision. That's going to be my pick for that fight. Let's move on to the next fight, which I am genuinely excited for. Jeisla Chaves, okay? Go ahead, do yourselves a favor. If you have not already seen this, go and watch Jeisla Chaves versus Sofia Montenegro. They fought on the Contender Series last year. One of the best women's fights you will watch. I mean, not quite as good as Joanna Whaley. Don't get me wrong, but honestly worth it. Go and watch that shit. Fucking awesome fight. Both fighters in that fight showed incredible grit, determination, and survivability. Chaves won, I think, by split decision at the end of that. In the second round, she faced some adversity, getting dropped, almost finished. Still worked their way back up and kept going, kept pushing on to get the win by decision. Pretty nasty striking, if I'm going to be honest. For someone who was a ring girl and has come in with not that much experience, she looked good on the feet. Throwing big counters, setting up, good switch stance. I think in this fight, she'll have a lot of success from the southpaw stance with that straight left. We've seen, who's the girl that beat Yuneisy Duben? Why can't I think of her name? Carly Judice. She was landing that straight left from southpaw like so many times, just consistently, one after the other. And Duben, she's coming in. She seems to have pretty decent power in the hands. But you look at the way she throws her combinations, she kind of just sits down and throws a bunch of punches with zero head movement whatsoever, chin up, there to be hit. I think she relies too much on her power. There's not much technical ability there in the striking. She's got 100% finish rate. Obviously, you can't really take too much from that. Going off how she looked in that first fight against Carly Judice, the chick she beat on Contender Series ran at her like an absolute fucking tard, and got knocked out. So I don't think Chaves is going to fall into that trap here with Yuneisy Duben. I think technically in the striking, she looks tenfold better. Tenfold. Honestly, just the way that Duben sits down in the pocket and just throws 5-6 punch combinations with zero head movement is so concerning. And that's why I think Chaves is going to find a knockout here. She's got good power in the hands. She's got a few knockouts on the record herself. The Contender Series fight went to a decision, but she showed in moments. She's got a wicked 1-2 there, and good counters. And I think that's going to be doing work for her here in this fight. And I think she's going to find a knockout inside the first 2 rounds. I'm going to say round 1. I'm going to say it happens in round 1, but I could see it going longer than that. I could also see it pulling off a decision win, like a dominant 30-27 win. Something like that, you know? But I'm going to go with the knockout here for you. Jeisla Chaves. I almost said Duben. Jeisla Chaves by knockout, round number 1. That's going to be my pick for this fight. I'm looking forward to seeing her get in there. Moving on. It's not going to work. Oh, there we go. There we go. Jordan Leavitt versus Joanderson Brito. Fucking hell, guys. I'm so torn between a few of these fights on this card, okay? There's a few of the fights. We'll talk about them as we move up. I'm so fucking stuck in the middle, you know? This one's tough. You got Jordan Leavitt. He's just come in. Down a weight class. He was fighting at lightweight. He's just come in. He had his debut at featherweight last time out against Yadier Del Valle, who was meant to be this really good prospect. Turned out to be a flop, okay? Jordan Leavitt has very good wrestling, good control, good entries. Works well from the body lock, but as the fight goes on, starts to get a little bit more sloppy with his entries and stuff, you know? Which I think it's something important to note in this particular matchup. You got Joanderson Brito on the other hand. Very aggressive, dangerous fighter. Can finish the fight anywhere it goes. Good submissions, good front chokes. He has a nasty guillotine. He got a ninja choke over Jonathan Pierce at one time where he'd get held down for a lot of the fight. Dangerous on the feet, big power on the feet, and I think he's going to have a big advantage on the feet here. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of time spent on the feet in the fight. You look at the matchup that Brito had with Pat Sabatini. He got absolutely ragdolled around. Just controlled. Not a whole lot of damage. A lot of control for Pat Sabatini across 3 rounds. Dominant win. Using the wrestling. There's a clear hole in the wrestling defense for Brito. He's happy to jump the ghillie and he oftentimes end up on bottom in that case. But it can be hard to hold down for the most part. Pat Sabatini was kind of the only one that was able to really hold him down for a long time. I mean, I know I just said Jonathan Pierce did it too, but he ended up finding the submission in that fight, so it doesn't count, you know? It's tough to say that Jordan Leavitt won't go on and just smudge him here for 3 rounds and find a decision win. But I'm going to say he doesn't do that. There's a few moments in that Yadier Del Valle fight where I feel like if they happen here, Joanderson Brito will take advantage of it and snatch up a submission really quickly from like the front headlock position. There are moments where you've got Leavitt diving in on a takedown from range and well out of range, you know, and just flopping on the floor in front of him. Or, you know, going in on a takedown and ending up in that front headlock to then eventually reverse position and work his way on top. But I feel like Brito, if you give him those positions, he will lock you up in a submission quite quickly. I don't know how much weight to put on that Del Valle win because it's so up in the air with him. He had that great performance against Bulgarian, which was very controversial, obviously. So it's hard to say how good that win is for Leavitt. But just seeing those moments in that fight and a moment in the third where Del Valle had control on top and eventually got reversed, I just think that comes down to bad fight IQ. And don't get me wrong, Brito has had some of those moments in the past as well, but he is still a lot more experienced than your Yadiel Del Valle, you know? And I think giving Brito those kind of moments is going to leave it up for the submission, which he has been caught in before. Chase Hooper got him. Paddy Pimblett got him. And I think Brito is going to get him by submission as well here. I had to pause this breakdown in the middle of in the middle of it because the fucking next door neighbor just started whippersnipping and I had to go out and put him to sleep real quick. No, I'm just kidding. But I had to fucking stop for a minute because it was loud as fuck and I could see it picking up on the mic. So hopefully that doesn't fuck up the recording too much. I'm sorry if it did. But I'm going to pick Joanderson Brito to win this fight by submission. I think Jordan Leavitt will win the first round. I think he will get those takedowns. He will get the control time. Brito cannot help himself but to jump that ghillie and oftentimes land up on bottom and working his way up. I think Leavitt will win that first round, but after that, I think that's when the moments will start to open up for Brito. He will look a lot better on the feet than Leavitt. And I think as Leavitt starts to get a little bit more sloppy with those entries, that's when we're going to see Brito take advantage of that, latch up a submission win. It's hard. It's hard to make that pick when I've seen Brito get fucking smudged for 3 rounds by Pat Sabatini. But I don't think Jordan Leavitt is as good as Pat Sabatini. So, yeah. Joanderson Brito by submission, late round 2. That's going to be my pick. Moving on. He's back. The fucking whippersnipper is back. Priscila Cachoeira versus Chelsea Chandler. It's tough. It's tough to pick either of these girls to win a fight. But I am going to pick Priscila Cachoeira. And that's because Chelsea Chandler does not take damage very well at all. You know? She's a big girl. She seems to have some decent power in the hands. She likes to mix in the grappling. But she hasn't had a whole lot of success in the UFC since getting here. Famous moment I think it was on debut against Norma Dumont. She went running, back turned to Dumont after she got countered in an exchange on the feet. Turned and ran, sprinted, full-blown to the other side of the cage. Insert clip here. Doesn't take damage that well, okay? And you got Priscila Cachoeira, who hits like a fucking truck, but her chin it's like she's handing it to you on a silver platter at the same time. So there is a concern here. She is older as well, so the damage add up over time. She gets hit so fucking much. So there is a concern with the damage add up over time. She's been slept a couple of times in her recent fights. Jocelyn Edwards got her. Maybe that was it, actually. I think last time out she lost the decision. Yes. But she has been knocked out a couple of times, I believe, over her career. She got a pretty nasty uppercut knockout over Josiane Nunes. I think that's Chelsea Chandler's only win in the UFC as well, is Josiane Nunes. They both beat her. It's a bit of a weird one, but I'm going to say Priscila Cachoeira lands something on the counter and bombs her out cold or fucking just puts her down, follows up with some ground and pound, finds a TKO. I'm going to say it happens in the first or second round. Let's lean round number 2. Let's move on. Bruno Silva versus Edgar Chairez. This is a fun fight. I'm going to go with Bruno Silva to win this fight. How does he win? I think he's going to sub him out. I think he's going to find that rear naked choke. Edgar Chairez, he's going to have a big frame advantage here. Had a bit of a stinker last time out against Felipe Boons, who I believe Bruno Silva would easily beat, would easily finish inside 2 rounds. Bruno Silva, up and down career. Losses recently are to the top of the top, though. You know, you got to take that into consideration. Whereas Edgar Chairez, yes, he lost to Josh Van. Nothing to fucking cry about. Bruno Silva also lost to Josh Van. He did get KO'd by Josh Van, where Chairez was able to take him to a decision. And Chairez did have moments in that fight where he had Josh Van hurt. He is very dangerous. He has good power in the hands. Big, lanky frame. So he's got a good frame advantage over a lot of people. And he will here because Bruno Silva is quite short and stocky for the division. But I think Bruno Silva is going to mix in the grappling here. We've seen at times where Chairez has been able to, you know, get taken down and held, have his back taken. Boone's had his back for a good part of that first round. Standing back take, you know. The body lock, I think that comes in big here because that's how Boone's was able to work his way to the back of Chairez. And Bruno Silva does pretty good work with his body lock takedowns and his trips and whatnot. So I think he's going to be able to use that here and mix in the fight, mix in the grappling into the fight, land big on the feet as well. I think Chairez will have his moments on the feet too, because like I said, big power in the hands, and Bruno Silva has taken a lot of damage in the past, plus that frame advantage. He's going to be landing that jab, those big 1-2s. And look, he's got good power, so maybe you could sit him down and find a submission. And Chairez does have good submissions, but I just think Bruno is going to be a bit higher level, you know. He's been at the higher level for a longer time. He's got that experience under the belt. Yes, losses to Josh Van, Manel Karp, who got him recently. Charles Johnson, close fight. Very close fight with Charles Johnson. I thought he won that one watching it live. Watching it back, yeah, very, very close fight. So Bruno Silva was right there at that level, where Edgar Chairez, a bit of a stinker against kind of a bum in Felipe Bunes, you know. That stands out to me here. That does stand out to me here. And although he is very dangerous and has good power in the hands, and Bruno Silva has kind of succumbed to that at times, I don't think he has that technical ability to put the same kind of a performance that a Josh Van or a Manel Cap is going to put on you. And I think Bruno Silva will have success with the grappling here. I think he's going to find the way to the back. He's got a nasty rear naked choke, and I think he's going to put it to work here. Bruno Silva to win this fight. Round 2 submission. That's going to be my pick. Let's move on. Another fun fucking matchup. I'm telling you guys, this fight night is going to be fucking fun. Marcus McGhee versus John Yannis. I'm picking Marcus McGhee here. I think this is big step up in competition for John Yannis, just like Marcus McGhee had last time out against Peter Yan. Big step up, a little bit too much too soon, but he didn't go into that fight with Peter Yan and not have any moments. He had some moments here and there. So I think Marcus McGhee's pretty good. He's a bit of an older prospect. I think he's about 36. Great footwork. He moves around the cage a lot, gets out of the way of a lot of people's big strikes, does very well at that, circling out, all that. Nasty high output striker. He's got a lot of finishes on the record. I think only the last 2 fights, they both went to a decision. One he won and one he lost. And those were the first 2 decisions in his pro career. So he's got good output on the feet. Throws big power as well. I think he's going to be able to put it on John Yannis here. And I actually think he will mix in some grappling here. John Yannis has shown to have holes in the grappling in the past. While he can defend takedowns, he's not completely lost. He's not just a complete bum down there, but he has shown the holes there. And I think as this fight goes on, I think Marcus McGhee will be outlanding John Yannis on the feet. Maybe we could see John Yannis have some moments, but I think the footwork of Marcus McGhee is going to come in big. He's going to be able to get out of the way of most of the big stuff of John Yannis and crash in and put some big combinations on him. I think as it goes on, we'll see some damage add up. I think we'll see John Yannis start to be backing up a little bit more. And as he starts to hurt him, I think Marcus McGhee will either crack him and drop him and then engage in some grappling, try and take him down, or he'll just drop him and follow him straight to the ground. And I think he's going to latch up a submission win. Boys, I'm going, I might be crazy, but I'm going with a lot of submission wins here on this card as a whole, which it's not something that always happens, but I feel like there's a lot of submissions coming this card. Like I said, Yannis has showed those holes in the grappling before. And Marcus McGhee, he's training at the MMA lab. He's going to mix it up. The team's probably going to see that, and they're probably going to want to mix that into the game. Yes, primarily a striker, and I think he'll come out doing that. But as he builds into the fight and starts to land that damage, I think he'll be able to easily take control of John Yannis. And I think he's going to, get him to the ground, sub him out. That's going to be my pick. Let's move on to the feature bout of the prelims. I'm going with Alessandro Costa here. I think he's going to win this fight by finish. Round number 1, probably. I've been tossing up whether this will be a submission or a KO. That's kind of the toss-up I've been on this fight. Not whether Matt Schnell's going to win or Alessandro Costa's going to win. I've been tossing up on whether Alessandro Costa's going to knock him out or whether he's going to submit him. I feel like he's going to knock him out, but I could absolutely see him submit him as well. We've seen Matt Schnell recently just dive into the guillotine of a Joseph Morales. Cody Durden subbed him out. I mean, guys, this one kind of speaks for itself. Matt Schnell is at the end of his days. He's very fucking chinny. Yes, he has grappling, but he's been submitted a bunch too. So there's holes there. He'll shoot a sloppy takedown if he's hurt on the feet. Throw his head into a guillotine. Alessandro Costa, big power in the hands. Good boxing. I mean, mixes up the combinations well. He's coming off of a vicious body shot knockout over Stuart Nickel. That was brutal. Likes the boxing, but he can also grapple too. He's got a lot of submissions on the record. I think his KOs and submissions are pretty evens. So really, I could see this one going either way finish-wise. I think it ends in the first round. I could see it going into the second and ending there. But either way, I think Alessandro Costa takes this one by finish. That's going to be my pick for the feature bout of the prelims. Let's move on to the main card. This is where it gets interesting, guys. Hear me out. Hear me out. This one's not biased, I promise. I'm picking Junior Tafa. I'm picking Junior Tafa to win this fight. Hear me out, okay? I am aware of the supposed judo background of Yuneisy Baraniewski. He's supposed to be a very good judo practitioner. He's got a couple of submissions on the record. Early days. This isn't judo, this is MMA. It's hard for me to bank on the fact that Yuneisy Baraniewski is going to come in here and use his judo to take down Junior Tafa and submit him, which is probably the perfect game plan. It is the perfect game plan for coming in against Junior Tafa. It's hard for me to say that he's going to do that when all we've seen so far is him coming in and swinging like an absolute meathead and just bombing out every single opponent with ease. That's going to bring a whole lot of confidence into you with your hands on the feet, whether he's a grappler or not. I believe it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's fake. I believe it, but we haven't seen it. We haven't seen him use it. I think he's going to come in with serious confidence in those hands. And I think he might feel like he can just come in here and put another dude out cold. He does have serious knockout power. Technically, on the feet, there's a lot to be desired. I want to go back to the Ibo Aslan fight, one of the craziest fights, one of the craziest 2 minutes of fighting that you can watch. That's what stands out to me here. He did get dropped in that fight a couple of times. In that 2 minutes, a couple of times. If he comes out with the same mentality that he did in that fight, with the same game plan that he did in that fight, Junior Tafa's going to knock him the fuck out, okay? Junior Tafa has serious power in the hands. He's a very good kickboxer. Yes, he's had trouble with leg kicks in the past, even in his last fight that he lost. Iwo Baraniewski, he's not coming out fighting at range, ripping up your leg and trying to slow you down. He's coming forward and swinging bombs at you. It's as simple as that. Yeah, he'll throw a leg kick here and there, but it's not. His game plan isn't going to be, let's take the back foot, fucking rip up that leg, and then we'll get to work, all right? Maybe he's game planning to use that grappling. And if he is, he's probably going to take Junior Tafa down and submit him. But I'm just going off what we've seen, what he has given us so far. Junior Tafa is going to win this fight by knockout in the first round, okay? It's as simple as that. That's what I'm going with. Junior Tafa to bomb out Iwo Baraniewski in a 2-minute slugfest, similar to the Ibo Aslan fight, except this way it doesn't go the way of Baraniewski. I think Tafa will crack him. Maybe they'll crack each other, but I think Tafa's going to be able to back him up to the cage, just like Ibo Aslan was able to do. And I think right there is where he'll land something big and be able to put him down and put him out cold. That's how this fight's going to go, okay? It's not bias, I promise. It's genuinely just going off what he's showed us so far, okay? I know a lot of people are locking Iwo as an absolute lock on this card. Yes, I know Tafa's showed us reasons to not want to pick him in the past. There's the George Tokos fight, which is a concern. But he almost slept him a couple of times in that fight as well. I'll wait till we see it, okay? If Iwo comes in here and just takes him down straight away and submits him, I'm not going to be crazily shocked. But I'm going to wait till I see it before I start continuing to use that. Because I did bring that up in previous breakdowns with this guy and fucking yet to see it. So, Junior Tafa, that's going to be my pick for this fight. Round 1 KO. Okay? Let's move on. Fucking hell. This one's hard, bro. This one's hard. Bryce Mitchell versus Santiago Luna. Santiago Luna stepping in on, I'd say, about 3 weeks' notice. So, short notice, but not he's been called up this week, so he's got time. Very young prospect, undefeated, 8-0, athlete. He's in it for the game. Mexican prospect. They love their Mexicans. And the interesting thing about it, I think he's like a 3-time Greco-Roman wrestling champion in Mexico. So he's got grappling. And Bryce Mitchell really needs to have that wrestling control to get his wins, whether it's just controlling you from top and just stalling out the fight. And, you know, he's, I don't know, there's a lot to be desired on the feet for Bryce Mitchell. He has moments, he uses leg kicks good. He mixes it up all right, but there is a constant concern there, you know? There is a constant concern there on the feet. You've got the Josh Emmett flatline KO. You've got Saeed Nurmagomedov kind of dropped him really bad there in the first with a big knee. I had picked Bryce Mitchell, but I'm going to swap my pick. I'm swapping my pick right here. I keep thinking about this, and I was thinking about it all last night. There's a reason why I didn't record until this morning because I wanted to think about some of these just a little bit more. I'm going to pick Santiago Luna to win this fight. I think he's quite a good prospect. And I think with that grappling base, and he's shown good ability on the feet, yes, there's holes in the striking. But we're not looking at Bryce Mitchell as a really technical striker that's going to be able to, technical striker with low power that's going to be able to expose those holes. It's not quite that. He's got a bit of an unorthodox striking approach. Good in certain areas, but has holes there himself, you know? Santiago Luna, I think he'll be able to hang there in the grappling. In the clinch, I think he'll have good success with that body lock. That's a lot of that Greco-Roman style. I think he's going to have a lot of success there. If Bryce Mitchell uses his double legs, gets it to the ground, perhaps we can see Luna get held down a bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough because there's a lot yet to be seen from the side of Luna, where Bryce Mitchell we know a little bit more about. and that's kind of why I was leaning to him at first. But just the more I think about the ability of Luna to be able to hang there in that grappling world, I think he can outwork Bryce Mitchell on the feet. I do. I think he can win this fight by decision based off of damage over the 3 rounds, maybe like a 29-28 decision, something like that. That's what I'm going to go for here. Santiago Luna out damaging Bryce Mitchell. Maybe Bryce Mitchell has a bit of grappling success here and there, but Santiago Luna to have his moments as well, get dominant moments in the clinch. And I think he overall on the feet, I think he will outwork Bryce Mitchell with the striking. And yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Santiago Luna by decision. Live pick swap. Let's move on. Perez Ziam versus Tom fucking Nolan, mate. Brisbane represent. Let's fucking go, Tom Nolan. I'm picking Tom Nolan. And again, it's not bias. I promise, okay? I promise. Hear me out. Hear me out. For SEM, yes, he's a very good prospect. He's on a good run. He's coming off of a very, very good win of a Nazim Sadikov, who was on an absolute tear. And he made him look shit. He did make Nazim Sadikov look pretty shit. I feel like the style matchup here is a lot to look at. For SEM, he likes to kind of pick you apart. He's got very good technical striking. Not crazy power in the hands, but he does have a lot of knockouts. A lot of the time, he'll kind of rip an opponent up over the 3 rounds, and like at the end of I think in the 3rd round, he landed that big knee against the guy that looks like Paul Felder. Why can't I think of his name? It'll come to me. It'll come to me. What I'm saying is he doesn't have crazy power in the hands, but he does have good technical striking, and he can put damage on you across 3 rounds and find the finish that way. He does have a few submission losses on the record. While he's not completely lost in the grappling, he even showed in the last fight against Nazim Sadikov to have good grappling control there. He was able to outwork Nazim Sadikov in that area, and that's an area where I thought Nazim might have some success in, but for SEM, proved too strong there. Terrence McKinney was able to get him down and choke him out quite easily within like 2 minutes, I believe. Tom Nolan, man. Tom Nolan. He brings in, how do you say? He's got a very aggressive style. He's got a very aggressive style. He has big power in the hands, and he has the ability to grapple as well. He's coming off of a submission win in his last fight against Charlie Campbell. Now, there are holes on the feet because he does get a little bit wild with it. He does leave his chin out there, and he does get hit a lot. He got bombed out by Nicholas Motta in his UFC debut. But Nicholas Motta is a very fucking powerful puncher. And if you have that kind of fight with Motta, there's a good chance it's going to go one of 2 ways, you know? Someone's getting knocked out is what I'm saying. Whereas in this matchup, stylistically, I think with the high output of Tom Nolan and that damaging approach, like the damaging shots that he throws, I think he's going to be able to force Ziam into more of a messy brawl, which isn't really his style of fight, you know? Terrence McKinney was able to make it look messy with him. Yeah, it was mostly grappling, but he was able to make it look messy. It was a weird little takedown that ended in the control, and he eventually found his way to the submission, got it worked on him. Ziam wants a clean fight, and he wants to pick you apart technically. Technically, he's very good. But I think Tom Nolan's going to force him into the fight that Tom Nolan is good at. And that's where I think he's going to find success. I think he's going to be able to put damage on for SEM. I think he'll be able to work the grappling in here. I could see him picking up a submission at some point in this fight. I want to say like, I could really see this going to a decision and see Tom Nolan picking it up that way. I'm going to go rogue here again. We've gone with a lot of submissions on this card, and we're going to go with another one here. I'm going to say Tom Nolan finds a submission here, landing damage on for SEM, forcing him to grapple, forcing him to exchange in a brawl-like output. Maybe I could see Ziam just catch him with something very clean and put him down and put him out cold. I hope that doesn't happen. It's definitely a chance. Don't get me wrong. It has to be said. It does have to be said because he does get hit. He leaves his chin out there to be hit because that's just the kind of style that he brings. But I think, like I said, that's not Ziam's style of fight. And if Nolan forces that on him and makes him fight that kind of way, that's where I think Ziam will start to make certain mistakes, which I think can lead to advantageous positions or moments for Tom Nolan where he can pick up the win. And we're going to say he gets it done by submission. Yeah, that's right. Let's go round number 2 by submission in round number 2. I said that, but if I can say it again, all right? Tom Nolan, let's fucking go, baby. Aussie represent. I promise it's not biased once again, okay? Let's move on to the co-main event. We have Brendan Allen versus Edmen Shahbazyan. I see a lot of people taking Edmen Shahbazyan here. I get the read on the feet. Yes, he's very dangerous on the feet. Round 1, Edmen Shahbazyan is a fucking scary fighter, you know? And he's on a little win streak. But we got Brendan Allen, who's a very high-level grappler. Just was able to put a pace on RDR last time out, who was on an absolute roll, beating Robert Whittaker, beating Bo Nickel. I mean, RDR was looking pretty good, and Brendan Allen came in as quite a big underdog against him and gassed him the fuck out. Across 4 rounds, eventually made him quit on the stool. Brendan Allen does have very good grappling. There's moments in fights where he has slips up, you know, makes bad decisions. Sometimes the fight IQ gets him in trouble at certain times. He make bad decisions in certain moments and end up in bad positions. And it's got him caught out in times before, but I think against Edmen Shahbazyan, he's gonna be okay. I'm picking Brendan Allen to win this fight. I'm gonna say he gets a submission as well. It's crazy. I know it's crazy. I know. So many fucking submissions here. I just think as Edmen Shahbazyan, I don't think he's got what it takes to put Brendan Allen out in the first round like he does to some people. Yes, he's on a win streak. Look at the names. He only just got Andre Muniz out of there in the very last seconds of the first round. Andre Muniz is dog shit, by the way. Completely lost on the feet. BJJ guy wants to pull guard. Not good. Okay? And then before that, decision win over Andre Petrosky, who just got fucking colded by Cody Brundage. Couldn't knock him out. You know? Yeah. There's not enough there for me to go in here and say, yep, Edmen Shahbazyan can just keep it on the feet here, work him on the feet and knock him out in the first or the second round. Edmen Shahbazyan fades heavily after the first round, starts to get out grappled by the grapplers at that period of the fight. Yes, there will be some early worries in the first round, but I think Brendan Allen's good enough on the feet to hold up there as well. He uses kicks well. Like I said, he does make mistakes here and there, but Edmen Shahbazyan's right up there with him as far as fight IQ decision making goes. Lost by submission to Gerald Meerschaert not all that long ago. In the second round, after winning the fight for the first round and a half, eventually gets taken down and submitted right at the end of the second round. So I think Brendan Allen's going to do something similar here. I think he's going to utilize that grappling of his, get the fight to the ground, and lock up a submission win. However he likes. That's what I'm gonna go with. I feel like that one's pretty clear cut, but it is MMA, guys. Anything can fucking happen, all right? Let's move on to the main event. Fuck, man. Fuck. This is tough, bro. This is tough. I've Before looking into this fight, I'm thinking, yeah, Belal all day. Belal all day. You look at the Nicholas Dalby fight that Gabriel Bonfim had with. You look at the fight that Gabriel Bonfim had with Nicholas Dalby. You can't help but think that Belal's going to put something like that onto Bonfim here. Nixing in the clinch, high output, not crazy damage, high output, constant pressure. That's what Belal does. He's a pressure fighter. He comes, puts on a pace, mixes in a little bit of grappling. It's not like a crazy amount, but it's enough to keep you working, keep you thinking. And that's where Nicholas Dalby had a lot of success against Gabriel Bonfim. Now, Bonfim has been able to dial it back since that fight. He's been able to dial his output back, stay more composed in that fight. And all fights before that, he came out very hot, swinging crazy, big finish percentage. So kind of was banking on that. And as you get up the ranks, you can't rely on that too much. Obviously shown by Nicholas Dalby, who just... Bonfim had his moments early, but as the fight went on, you seen where Nicholas Dalby just started to take over, keeping him up against the fence, forcing him to clinch, forcing him to grapple with him. Just gritty style of fight. And I think Belal Muhammad brings a very similar or almost identical approach as to what Dalby brought coming in against Gabriel Bonfim. But I do worry. Belal Muhammad has taken a lot of damage over the past two fights. He got an absolute working from JDM. Ian Gary pieced him up across 3 rounds, but he had moments in both of those fights, you know? He did have moments in both of those fights. This is fucking tough. There is an obvious danger finishing upside here for Gabriel Bonfim. He's very good on the ground, very good in the BJJ. He can submit you. He can knock you out. He's got good power in the hands. He's got good combinations on the feet too. Like he's not bad, man. He's not bad, but I can't get the Nicholas Dalby fight out of my head, you know? At the end of after I was done looking at this fight, I actually went with Gabriel Bonfim to win. I thought he might pick up a finish win. And I think that's how he has to win this fight, because the more this fight goes on, he's not tested at 5 rounds. And we seen him struggling with 3 against Nicholas Dalby, where like he's been 3 before. Stephen Thompson, it's another one we could probably talk about that was, you know, could have went the other way on the judges' scorecards. He mixed in the grappling there, stalled out the fight a bit. Not going to be able to do that, I don't think, too much here against Belal Muhammad. Man, I'm so torn on this fight, but I'm gonna go with Belal Muhammad to win this fight. I'm gonna say he gets a like. Belal, forget the name. I can't remember the name. Pillow Hands Muhammad. Pillow fucking Hands Muhammad. 1 knockout win on his record, I'm pretty sure, and that was to Sean Brady. 0 fucking power in the hands. Is it crazy for me to say that he gets a round 3 or 4 knockout, or even a round 5? Like a late rounds TKO damage build up, just like what Dalby did to Bonfim? Is it crazy to say that we're going to see an almost exact replica to that fight? It's tough. The danger upside is with Bonfim, and I think there will be moments early on. I do think, honestly, Bonfim will probably win the first round. Maybe even the second two. Maybe he'll be winning the second round, and as it gets closer to the end of that second round, that's maybe where we'll see Belal start to take over. So tough, man. So tough. Just the lack of finishing potential for Belal Muhammad. He doesn't submit people. He doesn't knock people out. He puts a pressure on. He puts a pace on you. He out cardios you. He out fucking works you, you know? Puts a higher output on. Makes you work consistently. Has you consistently thinking about what's coming your way. Doesn't give you any chance for a rest except for in between rounds on the stool. I have to go with Belal Muhammad here. I think it is the wise pick when we have the tape of what Nicholas Dalby did to Bonfim. Yes, he's 19-1. Yes, he's very dangerous. And yes, I think he's pretty good. He had a great fight against Randy Brown last time out. Masterful striking performance. And that's kind of what made me think Bonfim might win this. Because if he comes in here and he's able to keep it on the feet, I think his cardio is going to last a lot longer without the grappling. I just don't know if Belal's going to allow that. Not to say that Bonfim's going to be lost in the grappling, because he does have good jiu-jitsu. He has a great submission threat. Originally, I was thinking Bonfim submission. Another one. I can't do it, though. I can't do it. I can't get this Nicholas Dalby fight out of my head. I've been thinking about it all night. This is another one. Another one that I've been thinking about all fucking night. I can't do it. Belal Muhammad is going to win this fight. Belal Muhammad's going to win this fight by knockout in round number 4. All right? That's what I'm going to go with. Pillow hands, forget the name. He's going to get it done, okay? He is high level. Yes, he's a bit older. He's taken a lot of damage. There is that concern here. Perhaps I could see Bonfim pull it off. If he does, I think it has to be a finish early within the first 3 rounds. After that, we haven't seen enough from Bonfim to say that he's even going to make it 5 rounds, okay? That's why I've got to go with Belal Muhammad here. I think it's the sensible pick. And while I'm not always sensible with picks, it's good to do it on the main event here. The reads are kind of obvious. But again, boys, it's MMA. Anything can fucking happen. I am excited for this fight card as a whole. This is going to be an awesome, fun night of fights. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching. If you got to this point of the video, drop a like and a sub. Leave your picks down below. Let me know what you think on who I'm picking. Fucking roast me for the Tafa pick. Go for it. Do as you will. Drop your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching. If you got to this point of the video, you're a fucking legend, alright? I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.